It's the behind the shade show.
And that's why I asked that question because you hear about like the attachment styles of people are anxious and avoidant,
Yeah.
right? And you'll hear a lot of people say that, well, it's going bad. I know that it's because of me, but I don't want this person to leave me because of generational trauma. So I'm going to sabotage it or I'm going to leave. Then I'm going to find someone else, do the same thing, wash, rinse, repeat. And as long as I'm always leaving, I don't have to face that issue might be with me because it doesn't ever reach that point. But on the flip side to that, the partners who are willing to help the person through their traumatic experience are probably sitting there thinking, I love this person,
Yes.
right? They love Blanca, they love terrain. I want to be there to help you, but now we're discarding them. To the partners who are trying to create that safe space, how can we reassure them to stay strong and not to maybe feel as hurt, even though it's hard, by what their partner is doing to them as they work through their journey?
Good question. And answering or circling back to your self-sabotage question is just the other person or the person who is hurting or in pain also has to ask herself or himself that do I love myself enough that the other person can love me? Because that goes back to the point that am I lovable? And that was probably the point when you were a child that you didn't believe that you could be loved for just being terrain or just to be Blanca without anything, without your good grades or bad grades or whatever. It's just like for who you are. And that's what these people in us see, our partners, that I actually love you who you are. And but can you see that in yourself that I'm actually lovable? We say other people that I love you, but it starts with like, can I love myself enough? Do I know that I'm lovable there? So for the partners is like I know it's easier said than done, but don't take it personally. And you cannot save a person. I have a blog post about it because I tried to save my dad from his alcoholism for 30 plus years in all sorts of way. And when I realized that this is not my game and stepping back and saying that I respect your life, I respect whatever you are doing, that slowly you are killing yourself, it's okay. I will be here if you need me, but I cannot live my life for you and trying to save you. So for this the same is for partners that you cannot save the other person. You can be the hero or the heroine. It will not gonna work or it will not gonna be sustainable, especially in a relationship. It's very energy draining. But the other person has to hit the rock bottom to realize that I'm keep jumping and I will never have a decent relationship or stop and say that, oh, this actually hurts, but I will face my fear and I take a leap of faith and I try with that person.
Yes, because if that person doesn't reset the trauma, then all they're doing is they're going to pass it on. And the unfortunate part that I've
Yes.
seen to your point, Blanca, is now you're impacting someone else, and that could literally be the start of their trauma journey that they're going to be passing on to other people. And I've seen people where, and I've gone through this earlier in my life where you're patient with your partner, you're working with them, they're getting better, and then they do something that damages the relationships, and now you leave and you're left feeling empty because you poured into the relationship so much. And then to continue the cup analogy, the person just kicked over the cup and watched
It's
everything
film.
pour
Yeah.
out, right? Yeah. So I know it's easier said than done to be patient, but that is, I think, a big task to ask. What are your thoughts?
I agree. And so going back I did a lot of healing because when I was an au pair, I realized that if I would become a parent, I don't want to pass this on to my daughter or my child. I have a daughter now, but I'm still doing a lot of healing because I say that it stops with me. And I don't want her, she will have her own life and all challenges. I don't want to be a helicopter parent about that. But let me clear all those poverty, struggles, and suffering that comes from generations and over generations. And going back for patience, I agree all people have different tolerance level, and you have to decide that how long you want to stay or try to support somebody. It's like don't commit like a relationship suicide. And as you mentioned, you will feel so much resentment after you are like, I'm pouring this help and support and I'm trying to be everything for everybody, and it's like 5 years later the other person leaves, and then you are like standing there that 5 years of my life is gone. For what? That resentment, it's a new trauma that you are just creating. So like how long you want to stay in this? And do you see any, like, okay, you chat about it and it's like, do you see any progress in the other person? Or the other person is like, oh, I will do it later, I will do it later. Do they really want to change? We all slip and that's okay, but do you see any progress? And is it actually filling your cup? Or you are just trying to fill your own cup with like saving somebody? Because that can be also a heroine mentality coming from another trauma, that you try to save somebody. So it's like we have to decide that I'm like loving this person, and I'm grounded enough. I know who am I, and that's why I want to help them. What I want to, because of my own trauma, to try to save them, because that's when you feel the resentment. If it's actually filling your cup and you have good time together, but sometimes things happen, then you have to decide at how long and what you are tolerating if you love yourself enough as a partner.